Hello, YouTube modeling community. This is Rusty Rotor with we're going to call it Christmas haul and Mental Monday. Uh, I hope everybody had a great Christmas. Got to see a lot of friends, family. If not, all through the week. I'm hoping everybody gets a chance to catch up with everybody. Uh, it was good to see Jeff came on, made a video, an actual video. I can't wait to start seeing some more of his builds when he gets time. His life's kind of hectic. So, shout out to you, Jeff, and Mr. Charlie Mack. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, guys. All that horse crap. Uh, in our house, we always start the tradition. Well, let's say this: Christmas Eve, our tradition is, my wife's usually doing a lot of cooking, making candies and stuff like that. But we always watch National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. It's the best movie in the world to me. I love waiting throughout the year to watch it on Christmas Eve. I've probably seen it 150 times, but I laugh every single time I watch it. So I never get bored with it. I look forward to it every year. We also watch all the normal favorites: Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Charlie Brown's Christmas, Santa Claus is Coming to Town, all those. Can't even think of their name now. All those puppet animation cartoons, all Frosty the Snowman. So we get through all those. Then Polar Express is my wife's favorite, so we watch that. Elf. The boys really, and well, my daughter too, always loved watching Elf, and apparently my granddaughter loves it too. So that was a new one for this year. And then we wake up Christmas morning. My wife makes a breakfast casserole, cinnamon rolls, mimosas, apple juice, orange juice, coffee, tea, whatever you want to drink. Then we usually do our household Christmas. Then the kids are over. We do all our gift exchange. Within the granddaughters open their stuff. The granddaughter that lives with us, she does her Christmas from Santa before that everybody gets here. And then she gets to open more throughout the day when everybody gets here. But we had a great day. We watched some football, had some good laughs. Upcoming vacations where all the families involved got to kind of discuss all that. So it was a good time. Like I said, I wasn't able to do hardly anything. Every day this thing changes. Like today, I can't bend over. I can sit here fine. It's painful to walk, but not as painful. So now all the pain's like in my lower back. It's just one day it's another thing. But I am averaging some good sleep. I'm averaging now where I was only getting maybe an hour or two. I'm getting about 4 or 5 hours of sleep. I woke up last night. It was 4 o'clock in the morning. I went to bed at 10. I think in between there I woke up like 2 times. And then I finally had to get up because I was having a spasm. And then went to the bathroom, came back, and then I slept from then till off and on, half hour here, half hour there, until 8:30. So yeah, it still sucks. It's not getting any better on its own, which kind of figures. So I'm really hoping the injections work. So enough about me. Let's get to the Christmas haul. A couple things I can't show you because they're household things. But me and my wife did get a new air fryer from our daughter. And we got one of those iRobot vacuum cleaners. Goes out on its own. It's synced with our Alexa. So once we get the tree down, I get the bench back in place. I can get the charging port put in. It'll park itself underneath the bench where it can't be seen. But we had hardwood floors put in this time last year. Well, not quite yet. It was in March. We had the floors done. So I've learned now I have to sweep every single day, and when you sweep, it looks like you ain't swept in a month. So everything gets tracked in, and it makes you realize how nasty carpet is. So we can get that figured out and set up. So I'm looking forward to that. I've always wanted one since we started talking about the hardwood floors. and it's gonna be cool to watch. Maybe we can get the cat to sit on it and ride around. I doubt it. He freaks out over anything. So, we got that, and we got a new air fryer. My wife got a bunch of girly things, of course. My haul, my jaw hit the floor. My daughter really went way and above and beyond this year. She shouldn't have, but I love her to death. So, backstory on this before you get to see it. So, about 3 years ago, I got to a point where I was 2 years in it, heavy, building a lot of high detail kits, and like anybody else, you get burned out. And I tried to, compensate by doing maybe what I thought would be a quick build, and that's how I ended up with about 4 or 5 builds that are still not finished. I just couldn't get in the rhythm, and I started looking around, and I follow a couple guys on Instagram that are, I don't know if they're Chinese, Japanese, whatever. They're Asian. They build motorcycles, and the detail they were putting in these things and making them light up, and hit the brake pedal and the brake light comes on, hit the button, the turn signals come on, and I'm floored. I'm like, okay, are these 124th? Are these 125th? What are they? Because I had never built a motorcycle. I've never bought one. Not in real life I have, but in model form I've never had one. Then I started researching them. I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to switch. Maybe that's what I need. I just need to get away from the model cars, either for a while or altogether, and start building motorcycles. And then I started looking and researching and finding out what these things cost. I'm like, oh, okay, I can buy 3 model cars for what one of these cost. So that kind of swayed me away from them. But I still kept them in my wish list. And one day maybe I'd be able to get them, or at least one at a time. I truly, truly love these. And I know it's going to happen. I'm going to build this one, and then I'm going to want another. But the price of these things are crazy. And I don't understand it, but I guess it is what it is. To me, it's about $5 worth of plastic. In real life, that's probably what it is. But it's the electricity that makes the plastic and the chemicals they use to put in the styrene, the labor to do it all. I get all that. But my daughter got me this. My first motorcycle kit. Now, I have opened this, and I looked through it, and this thing comes with the screen, the hoses, the wires, everything. The only thing you got to do is really just detail paint, weather it a little bit. And, I have the Tamiya, like burnt exhaust, stuff like that. I have the metal colors, burnt exhaust, steel, aluminum, dark aluminum. I have all those metallizers to really help accent it. And the brass for the forks. So, yeah, I was floored because I've always wanted one, but I keep them in the wish list, and I don't expect anybody to buy one of these things because they're so expensive. But there's a lot of them that I do want because I truly love motorcycles too, just as much as I do cars. And these are 1/12 scale, so they're a little easier to work on. I do need to, I guess, buy a jig to set these on to build them. Everybody I see that builds them, consistently, they have that jig set up, and you put the motorcycle on it, and it's easier to assemble it and work on it. So, because it's not like a car where it can sit flat on all 4 wheels. It's 2 wheels; it'll fall over. So, I'm definitely going to look into that. But yeah, I mean, it's all in Japanese. Chinese, so I can't. I think it's Chinese. I guess the driver of the bike is Kenny Roberts Jr. I do like watching this on TV too. The way they lay these bikes down around those curves and come in on a front wheel and balance it to keep from wrecking, and those guys are. But I do enjoy watching it a whole lot. So yeah, I'm ready to start building this right now, guys. That's how excited I am about this. But I know I can't. But this is going on the bench. This is definitely going on the bench. and I'll work on it little by little. I have to get a special display case to put it in. But, you know, there's that. I did get a lot of tools. We'll go over those real quick. Hollow punches. Probably a lot of you guys already have them. You know the purpose in using them. If you're doing a lot of scratch building, or you're wanting to add detail to a model, like bolt head or rivet, you know, washers, all that kind of stuff. Those little hollow punches are great because you just lay a sheet of soldering down. I got a little special hammer for it, and pop. I can make 1,000 rivets in, you know, 5 minutes, and put them in a container, and then I just get them out as I need them. And to give you an idea, so where this bolt is here, you can get rid of all this detail because it's raised a little bit, but not that much. And half the time it didn't come out of the mold clean where the whole detail is there. So you can add that detail and make it more three-dimensional, and it pops more. So that's I ordered a set, but they were solid, which will be good to use for other things. But these, to give you an idea, the original set, I can cut out a circle. I can use my other set of punches and punch a hole in the center and make that like a tiny little washer, like a fender washer. And then I can take the bolt head that I use the hollow punches for and glue a little thin round piece of styrene rod, I'm talking about the teeny tiny stuff, to it and create an actual bolt, slide it through the washer and drill a hole in the body where I want it to go, or chassis, and put that in place. I can paint them all up prior to installing them, or paint them when I go to paint the chassis, whatever it may be. But it just adds that 3-dimension to your model. So that's a must-have tool: the solid punches and the hollow punches. My son and daughter-in-law got me these, as well as the early gift, if you remember, the Hot Wheels Diora we got from him. My daughter also got me. I didn't think anybody was going to get this one yet, but I was going to buy it myself as soon as I had the money. I'm not going to take it out, guys. It's in there pretty good. A new airbrush. That helps if I turn it the right way. Now, this ain't a high dollar airbrush. I think this was like $30 or $40. It might have been a little bit more, I can't remember. But it's got the bigger tanks. So now I have the availability to spray like motorcycle fenders, gas tanks, helmets, welding helmets, because I truly love to paint. And, you know, any large surface, because it's got the fan tip on it, so it sprays, I think, like a 2-inch wide, it might be 3-inch wide path, where a lot of times when I spray a car with metallics or pearls, I end up with some striping or overlapping. You know, I'm sure it's happened to everybody. Or pooling. Pooling is where the metallics all pool together, which is what happened on the Volkswagen van. You know, you always try to eliminate and learn from your mistakes. And when I started doing some research and looking at some videos, a lot of guys were using, I don't know how well known that brand is. I've never heard of it, but I have seen some research on it and some videos on people using it, and it got like 4 out of 5 stars. A lot of them were 5 stars. So to me, it's, you know, people are liking it. It's worth the shot. So I just put it on my wish list, and, you know, I figure somebody gets it for me, fine. If not, I'll get it myself. But much needed tool to go with everything. So now I have this. I have my Iwata that I still have to fix. And then I got a bunch of Mastercraft cheapies, but they work great. And I have a Pache. I also have the, what do you call them? Blasters, like bead blasters or whatever it is, where you can take paint off, or, you know, metal or whatever, rust, get rid of all that. I forget what it's called, but I have the airbrush version of that now too. So my airbrush arsenal is pretty good. When that, you know, we got a new compressor, so I've tinkered with the old compressor. I got it working so. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put one air compressor, my original one, underneath the diorama table. I say that because it'll be the least used, and I'll have it right there. I'll be just spraying acrylics and craft paints through that anyways, so I won't be worrying about respiration and the air and everything else. And then I have an older Mastercraft airbrush that I've gotten repaired and fixed and spraying really good. I'll use that just for that. I also got, which will lead into today's Mental Monday. Like anybody else, when I say I'm balling on a budget, I look and I shop for something that I can afford that will do the job that I know everybody's using the more expensive tools for and be successful at it. Well, it was for a couple of years. It worked. And I'll turn that one into just a knife, regular knife handle. I did get the Tamiya saw handle and blade set. Their blades are a lot better. They're more flexible. They don't bend, and like those photo etch ones, you get it in a bind, they'll bend, and you got to straighten it back out, and it's still never 100%. So these got a little more oomph behind them. And then my son also got me a different set of blades. These are different. These are different. There's two different types of blades in there, and I got two different types of. Well, I think one of these is similar to these right here, and then the other one, it's different. It's more square. But these come in great for when you're working with balsa wood, doing dioramas, cutting out door panels, trunk decks, hoods, whatever you may be trying to cut out on your model to make it look functional. These are a must-have in your arsenal. Must-have, because they work so good. And that's not to boast Tamiya, but that is one good product that Tamiya makes. Because I've used it in the past. One of their blades in one of my holders, knife holder or blade holders, and it worked great. And then I used it so much it just got dull, and I threw it away. I also got, I have the Tamiya panel line scriber. I wanted one for so long. I finally made some money off a commission build, and I bought it in two different blades. It was like almost $80 for two blades, the handle, shipping and handling and tax and all that. It was like almost $80. When I started the ramp truck for the petty truck, I broke both tips just cutting those doors out, but they work great. It's just I was putting too much force on them and binding them, and they snapped. They're still usable to a degree, and I will eventually get another bit set to go with that. But they're like anywhere from like $28 to $34 a piece. That's awful pricey. But I found basically the same thing. This is the handle. It has a set screw. It has a nice cover, rubber cover, so you don't ding yourself, when you got a blade in there. So I really like that. And then I got a set of blades to go with it. You can see the sizes. 1.0, 0.8, 0.6, 0.4, and 0.2. These are, let me put my glasses on and see if it's got any English on here. Replacement knife head. It even comes with a little Allen key for that set screw. Well, let's open this up. Whoa, I just lost one. So you can see that's a big one there. But these are like chisels. So I got them so I can get in there and get, like in the floor pans where the forget what they're called, connecting points of the sprue were when it was in the mold. Mold lines, I guess is what we call them. I could take that little chisel, see how it's angled, get in there and chisel that out. Where you can't get in there to get anything out, I can get in there and use these. And I got quite a big set here, and they're all individually numbered and layered. But we're gonna get the teeny one out here. This right there is perfect for scribing your doors, all your panel lines, anything like that. And this is the 0.4. Yeah, 0.4. There is one smaller, the 0.2. Yep, that is the next smallest. Yes, 0.2, which will lead us into the mental Monday, and then we'll go over everything else. One of the subscribers gave me a comment on an idea, and it's not so much mental as it is just a how-to. But these are what I use. And there's about 4 different methods. So we'll label this as, we'll go with this as number 1. So once you've mounted this in your handle, you can start going around your doors or your trunk deck or your hood and scribe. I always do one area at a time. I don't go around, keep going around. There is a method that you can do that, but we'll get to that here in a minute. But this is so fine. Get where it'll focus. Yeah, a little bit. There we go. You can see how small that is. This is perfect for opening trunk decks, hoods, doors, whatever it may be. And even like if you wanted to remove the gas tank to put in a piece, filler piece, and have a fuel cell in the trunk, this is good to go around the perimeter and keep etching it away, and then you can take that piece out without damaging a lot of things or cutting in something you didn't want to. They have 101 uses. I highly recommend it. This set is very affordable. It can be found on Amazon. Put that back in there. And they work great. The only thing to these is you still want to use your number 11 blade and make your first run around the perimeter of what you're going to try to remove, like a door or a trunk. You take your number 11 blade and go through it just a couple times, remove a little bit of material. That creates a guide sleeve, is the way I perceive it. It gives you a path to start using a scriber to run through, so you don't jump off course and hit, the door itself or the rocker panel or the quarter panel or the fender or the roof, whatever it may be. It's a guide path. That's the word. By using your number 11 blade upside down, the back side of the blade. That's why I always keep all my knives or my blades. Even after I've dulled them up and they're not worth anything, I still keep them. I keep them in a little glass jar because when I want to go scribe, if all my knives got new blades in them, I just take the new blade out, set it aside, and I put one of those old blades in it. But I make a path around the perimeter, a couple swipes, remove a little bit of material. It creates a pathway. Then you can use your scriber like this and do like the front of the door. Just keep making passes, slow and steady wins the race, and remove the material until you get all the way through. The smallest one on here, I just showed you, creates the perfect gap all the way around the door, all the way around the trunk deck, the hood, whatever it may be you're opening. It creates a perfect gap. So you got minimal sanding to do, because you don't want to sand on a whole lot, because each time you're sanding, you're taking away material, and then you'll create a bigger gap, and you don't want that. You're better off having a tight gap and knowing that all you got to do is sand to get what you need, as far as for the door to open smoothly, the trunk to open smoothly, and when it's closed, it has that nice perfect gap around it. Highly recommend this. Everybody has a number 11 blade. You start your scribing with that. Just go slow, because you don't want to jump out and gouge any other material. Just go slow, make your passes. Couple passes around, put this away. Move to this, the same way. And they also make panel line scribing tape. You put it on the outside of the area you're going to scribe. That way if you slip off, it goes into that tape. And it's not super thick, but it's a lot thicker than normal tape. And it adheres very well. So if you go into it, it takes the abuse versus the plastic underneath. So that's something you need to have in your arsenal. I'm out of it. I got to order more. No big deal. Another method of scribing is saw blades. These are perfect because they're thin. They don't take out too much material. I almost give you that perfect gap afterwards. You're going to have to scribe about a half an inch until you get through. And then put the saw blade in there and it'll cut like butter. You're done. Same way, across the bottom. Etch it to where you get through to where the blade will fit in, and it cuts. Normal scribing with the back of a blade takes about 20 minutes. 20 minutes per door, because I just go slow. But you can be more precise and faster by using the right tools. It's just all, it's all up to you what you can afford, what you can't afford. That paint did not dry. Oh yeah, it did. There's my tape sticking to it. Okay. Rabbit hole. Now we described using the blade, we described using the scriber, and we described using the saw. There's another method. You don't have to go out and buy the expensive tool. You need real strong thread, not thick, but a really light, strong. You don't want cheap thread that's just going to break on you. You want a strong thread. Some guys will have them, some guys don't, but it's cheap. You can go to Harbor Freight and buy one for like $5. A coping saw. You just take the blade off of it, and you're going to tie string to one end. It's got like a little eyelet that the blade goes through. Well, you're going to tie your string to that. And then you're going to leave the string loose. And what you got to do is in each corner of the panel you're removing, you're going to drill a little hole. And then you feed your string through it, and then you tie it to the other end, and then you just adjust it's going to stretch that string and make it real tight. And all you got to do is start sawing right down your body lines, and it cuts through the plastic pretty quick. And that gives you the smallest gap imaginable, and it gives you room to sand down if you have to, without having too much material gone when you're done, and then going like, oh crap, like I did with the 32. I used the number 11 blade, and I got to the bottom, and it shaped different, so I went at a different angle while it removed too much material. So I had to add material back in to get it back to where it needed to be. More work. Work hard, or work smart, not hard. It's a phrase I've heard off and on my whole life. Be smart about what you're doing. Think about it, and then attempt it. And this leads us back to one of my videos way back. You go to a model show, or you're at somebody's got a flea market or yard sale going on. They got a kit that's been glue bombed or paint bombed. For $1 or $2, 50 cents, whatever it may be, pick it up, because that's a perfect thing to practice on. An old body, or a body you have no intentions of ever doing anything with. And if you make mistakes on it, it's no big deal. You can try all these methods out on the body. My shop is still disasterized, so we could do a how-to and show you how to do all the methods, and we may do that down the road. But just letting you know and showing you a couple of these tools. My coping saw is buried in here somewhere. I've used that method like twice, and I had really good results with it. But it's one of those things when you just sit here and say, okay, well, we'll open the doors. It's what's right in front of you, you grab to start working with. So that's why I said organizing the shop is going to be key. That way I have tools and equipment centrally located to every build area, and the diorama table, and then tools at each station. Now, I can't go out and afford to buy one of these for each workstation, so this would be a tool that would go into the centrally located area. I still have a few tools to order, but we got to wait until after the holidays and first of the year, and I can actually physically get up and go make a little extra money and get money back that I had to use earlier. And I can order everything I need, start buying the files for the figures. There's quite a bit of figures. But the best thing about those figures is I can buy the file for somebody sitting down. Let's just say a man sitting down. I can buy that one file, and I can print 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of them and paint them all different. And they're going to look like different people. But it fills in the space. So like the grandstands I'm going to build for the Gastro Knights, just the one file, I can get 5, 10, 15 guys and paint them all different. And same way for the ladies and kids You know, that's the best thing about buying the file. I can print as many as I want. But there's some other key components I got to buy the files for, and some other things I found. I did find. I'll go down another rabbit hole here. So you know how we were talking, the picture I put it up last time to show you a reference picture I'm using. There's a tack that they got mounted on the steering wheel with the shift indicator on it. I found a file for that. So we're going to here in the next week or two get that file. Once we hopefully get this shop organized, I'm going to get the file when it's done, and then we're going to print that off, detail paint it, and get it mounted on the dash instead of scratch building it. Like I said, if there's an easier way, I always tend to take the easier way. So that's pretty much my Christmas haul. Other than this next thing we're going to take a look at, the airbrush, I was floored about, and then the model kit, I was just blown away. My daughter went way above and beyond. Our oldest son got us a $250 gift card, which was insane to me, but you know, I appreciate it. They got us a gift card to go eat at an expensive restaurant, Jeff Ruby's or the Precinct, which are located here in Cincinnati. Well, not here, but over in Cincinnati. So we got dressed up fancy. We can go sit down and have a nice, it's like a 5-star restaurant. So, we got to dress appropriately. We can go have a super nice meal. Thanks to my son and my daughter-in-law, Andrew and Jody. He's the one that's the engineer. My second son, like I said, him and his wife got me a Hot Wheel. They got me some of those tools, and they got me the next thing we're going to look at, which is awesome. So a little bit off topic here. Anybody that does 3D printing knows that this resin smells horrendous. And you're supposed to wear a mask or a respirator around it. I do most of the time. A lot of times I don't. But my wife did buy me, come in a set, these Anycubic air purifiers. So I run these when it's on, and they do a really great job. They're rechargeable. You can order new cartridges for them. It's a little carbon cartridge that goes in there. They're actually pretty powerful for something so little. And I like the fact they're rechargeable. So I run these. But it still gets a little smelly in here, especially if I start painting or anything else. I am a huge Star Wars fan. So my son and daughter-in-law got me this Mandalorian. It's one of those, you put the little cubes down in and it melts and it smells the room really nice. These are all Star Wars based waxes, even though, they got a scent. This one is the Dark Side. Is what it's called, and it smells amazing. And you just cut off one of those little cubes, break them off, and throw it in there, and melts it, and it lasts for days or weeks. So I pretty much got a lifetime supply of waxes here. I got 3 different packages, and they all smell amazing. I just want to wait till the shop gets organized before I put this up there, so we can do it. And you got to use a special light bulb that coincides with it. This also has, you can see you put the little wax thing in there, and then back here it lights up, and there's other little holes here and there on this that'll light up from the light bulb itself, and then you just put the top of his helmet on, and it lets all the scent come out through there. But that's cool. So it's going to be a nice addition to the shop. I really like this. I didn't even know, didn't have no indication that they were even getting this, and I love it. This is really cool. And I can't say just for my son and my daughter-in-law, for my granddaughter too, the one that does watch all my videos. She's awesome. I got to spend a little bit of time with her. She was more excited about being Christmas and playing with all the cousins and everything else versus spending time with Pawpaw, but it's all good. I know she had a great time. Everybody had a great Christmas. I couldn't have asked for more. I'm very, very appreciative of what I got. I think that, the little vacuum cleaner robot, it came with I'm not going to put that on it, but I'll put this on the refrigerator. It's just a cool little item, little pair of glasses. Kind of looks like my glasses. So we'll get that put on the refrigerator. We did get the detail painting done underneath from the other day. We got the carpet flocked. I need to dump out the excess today. Everything's dry. we're good to go on start foiling and decals and foil. I don't think I'm going to have to clear coat at all. I'm really digging the shine. I mean, those few extra drops of hardener definitely made the difference. I had one little spot of pooling over here, and it's still visible to a degree, but not any bad. I wet sanded it down, polished it out. Came out pretty good, but that's because I got too much paint in one area, and it pooled. And it also is right where I kind of burned through it a hair, but you really can't see it. It's because of the color too. It's gray primer underneath or black primer underneath, and yeah, I can't unless you really get on there. Can you see it? So we're going to leave it alone. That way, there's no major touch-up spot on there. Dust is crazy down here right now. But yeah, we got the hubcaps resprayed. I'm getting ready to red wash those here in just a minute. So Mental Monday, we talked those methods of opening up doors and trunks. You can drop your method down there in the comments, how you do it and how you use it. Do you use all those methods? Do you just stick with one because it works the best? I find that I do have one method that works the best, but it doesn't always work the best on every model. So I'm glad that there's several different methods to use when it comes to different kits. Sometimes, you can tell maybe it's got a wide gap in the door panel already, and it works really well, so you don't have to scribe anything out. The paint's going to lay in there and not fill up the space like this one here. You see the panel lines are really nice. Yes, I did. I scribed these a little bit. But if I was to open these doors, I would just keep going using one of the methods until I got all the way through, and then I'd come down across the bottom and work my method, and then up the back until the door came out. Then it's a bunch of scratch building because you got to do all the jams, the rocker panel plates, kick panels, the back and front panel to the door. And then in a case like this, I would have to open up, because it's all one piece, open up the panels here. And these would be really hard to do because you can see it's the way it's molded. It's not squared off like the panels where it comes in, 3 pieces, the interior tub and then the door cards that you put on. Those are a lot easier to just cut into pieces and install them to the doors than what this would be. Not that this wouldn't line up, but the fact of how can I say it? You would really have to do a lot of extra work because you'd have to make a piece to fill in there and square it off. So when it's on the door and the door's open, it looks like a whole door panel. So yeah, I mean, you all come across that many times, I'm sure. But yeah, if you got a method that you like to use all the time, drop it down there in the old comments and let me know what you think. I hope you enjoyed this little kind of how-to. We will go more in depth in it once we get the shop done and everything's organized. I'll get one of my scrap bodies out, and we'll try all 4 methods, 4 or 5 methods, whatever it is, and show you an actual how to do it and what not to do type thing. When we got the space to do it. So yeah, I think that's about it. I hope everybody else had a great Christmas. And it's New Year's this coming weekend. Everybody get the resolution in. At the end of the week, Friday, I will post, probably at the end of my video, of all my builds of 2022. I've already done it on Instagram. If a lot of you do follow me on Instagram, you can go check that out. It's up. It's been posted for about a day now. I had 10 builds. I didn't think I had that many, but I had 10 builds this year. That's an achievement for me, because usually I only get 6, maybe 7 out in a year, and I was able to get 10, even though one of them was three units in the actual build for the Richard Petty. We had the chase truck, we had the ramp truck, and we had the the petty car. But that's still, it's 3 individual models. Coincide with everything else I got done. So definitely go over there and take a look at it. If you get a chance, if not, at the end of the week, I'll have them up here on my YouTube channel. Subscriptions are going up, which is great. Like I said, remember, when we get around that 850, 860 mark, I'll release information on the third place prize, of what it's going to be, so you'll know. The Caliente is the second place prize. I've had a lot of people say, I want that, I want that, I want that. Well, as long as you're subscribed to my channel, and when I give the go ahead, you get your name into my email, you'll be in the hat and get a chance to win this. It's going to be a nice piece to sit on, up on your desk or your shelf, whatever. And I'm looking forward to see who wins it. First place will be the last one announced, because it's huge. It's like second and third place all rolled into one plus. Let's put it that way. I've already mentioned what it is, kind of, but I've not mentioned everything. But we get to that 860 or 850, 860 mark, we'll announce what the third place will be, and then we get probably around 900. We will start announcing what the first place will be, and you'll start getting to see what they are. Again, guys, you got tomorrow's my birthday, so you got till tomorrow at midnight to get your videos in or sent to my email. Make sure if you do it on YouTube, you tag me in it so I can see it. And for the people that are still kind of running behind, that's fine. But get them done, please. Don't just let it go. Finish it, and get the pictures to me as soon as possible. That way, not everybody's waiting on one individual before they get their pictures. Because when I make the picture, if I only got 3 entries in it, that's only going to be 3 cars. I want all 7 entries in that collage picture that you're going to get from me. That way everybody gets to see what everybody else did. And I'll do a collage on the end of the video also. And as people finish and get it done, get the stuff into me, I'll put it up at the end of the video also. But I need all of them, the specific pictures of it, the angles, I need those sent to my email. That way I can take them from there and open a file and move them in there and rearrange them and get them all into a collage, and then send that off to the photograph place and have them make pictures. It will probably be probably like a 5x7, maybe an 8x10. I don't know. I haven't figured that out yet. I got to get the pricing on that and see what they vary and all that. And it'll be a high gloss picture, so you'll just have to get a frame and put it in the frame and put it wherever you want to. So that being said, I think that's pretty much it. We'll get this video done. There's something else though. There was. I got a late Christmas. Well, it's not late. It came in on time, but my wife let me know that I had one. She forgot to bring it upstairs so I could open it. And it's from Cliff. GI Mechanics. And Teresa. I think that's her name. Yeah, Teresa. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And like I said, guys, I'm kind of a fanatic. It's very sentimental to get something like this. So I will place each one of these Christmas cards I got this year with their actual shop card. And each year we'll just add to it. And when it starts taking over too much, we'll start opting them out. But I'll never get rid of them because it is sentimental to me. It's something that somebody took the time out of their day and thought, their thought process and included me in. I can't be more appreciative than that. So, again, thank you, Teresa and Cliff and everybody else that sent me one. Most everybody, I got an email or a text out to them telling them Merry Christmas, since I couldn't get out and physically get cards this year. I've learned now there's apps I can go to or websites and have them made, and they'll just be shipped to the house, and then I can get them out that way. So I just wasn't aware of all that. You start dealing with a lot of pain. It's hard to concentrate on anything else. But yeah, we're going to do some work today. on this Caliente. Hopefully get the center caps in and get those on so we have a rolling chassis. And just play around with it. Might get the decals on today. And then we can get going on the bare metal foil, which I'm just going to take my time with it. I'm going to just do what I can when I get burned out on it super fast, because it just makes me a nervous wreck putting the knife blade on a good paint job. And this one, again, I would have to rank this as in my top 2 paint jobs I've ever done. It's that clean. There's some areas that I didn't have control over, but overall you can't hardly tell. And there's no, I cannot see any more junk in the body. So I have to, well, there's one little spot, but it's not worth fooling with because I can barely see it. So I have to put this up in my top 2. It may be my top 1 of perfect paint jobs. And you can just see no clear coat. That's just, wet sanded out, polished out. I just 2-stepped it. I didn't go through all the whole process. I got the shine back immediately. So I highly recommend those MCW paints. And guys, that link's always down below. Go check out Market Hobby Nut Models. Pick you up some of those MCW paints. They're like $6 a jar. They're not real expensive. And you can get, that's 5 coats that I used on this. I made enough for 5 coats. And I've got 3/4 of a jar left. So you could legitimately get 4 paint jobs out of the jar if you're mixing everything right, the right ratios. That took 1/4 of the jar to do that, and you take the paint, and however much paint you put in your cup, and you use that much equal. I use the Mr. Hobby or whatever it is, leveling thinner, same ratio. So if it's 0.5, I use 0.5 of the thinner, and then I add normally 6 to 7 drops of hardener in. This time I put 10, and that made the world of difference. And then I just stir it up. I let it sit there and ferment for a minute, get everything else ready, and I keep a little cap over top of it to get any dust settling into it. And I started spraying, and it sprayed like butter. Same as the NASCAR build. All those paint jobs on all 3 of those vehicles, they sprayed like butter. And the best thing about it, using the hardener, this stuff dried out in a day and a half to be able to touch. 2 days, and it was fully cured using the hardener. And I can touch this without any fear of putting fingerprints into it, other than something that can be wiped off. But yeah, hit that link. Go check him out. Get you a few jars. Everybody just got their Christmas money. Yay. But yeah, I highly recommend them. I can see why Matthew at Model Car Videos really loves them and puts the trust into them, because it doesn't let you down. I've heard other guys have issues with it, struggle, and the only thing I can associate that to is the mixing. You got your mixtures wrong. You didn't have enough of something in there, whatever. But the paint itself has never failed me. Now I can comment on the hardener. Even though I transferred it into a different jar, I still have the issue of it getting the lid off. So you got to almost clean the lid and the top of the jar and the threads of the jar every time you open it, to prevent that drying out phase and locking that lid on there. I have not done that yet, but the next time I open it, I am going to. I'll soak the lid in some thinner, and I'll take thinner and wipe the top of the jar really good, and the threads on both the cap and the jar, and see how that, the next time I open it, if it opens with ease, then I know that's what needs to be done. All right, so we've taken up basically 50 minutes. Drop down your comments, what you think about your methods of opening panels, whether it be a trunk deck, hood, doors, whatever it is. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Drop me a sub. Remember, guys, it doesn't cost anything. I also got this great t-shirt, vintage Star Wars t-shirt from my daughter. So, yeah, I had a great Christmas. And I'm looking forward to watching other videos of what everybody got on Christmas. I'll be watching some more of those later this afternoon. What else? That's pretty much it, guys. Any other ideas? A certain kit you want to see, you want to know about, you were interested in, but you haven't purchased it yet. If you've seen it in the background here, you just drop it down in the comments. Let me know. And I'll do a quick little 10-minute video opening the kit up. Even if it's sealed, I don't care to open it. It doesn't bother me a bit. We'll open it up. We'll get the parts out. We'll take a look at it. If it's something I got some ideas on already or I've bought stuff for, we'll kind of touch base on that as we go. Maybe that'll spark your interest in going a little deeper into the kit. But you just got to let me know down there in the comments. Shop cards are still available. Distributors are still available. I do have some other parts, 3D printed parts available. You just got to email me. It's always down there in the link also. Go check out Ryan Jones. His links will be down below. You get a great set of these tires. If you want to switch it up from being just Ford, you can do a Mercury. Because there's just Mercury kits out there, like the 49 Merc. That's one of probably the most popular. And then you got this little 64 Caliente Comet. Easy to build it from a stock model and turn it into a resto mod, or even go into the full blown Pro Touring or a Pro Mod or Pro Street. I'm sure that little I forget what it's called. That one kit that's a Pinto or somebody commented on it. The Ford. Can't remember what it was now. That chassis will fit underneath this. Of course, you have to open the hood then, but the chassis would fit underneath here, so you get the chassis you need without all this molded in crap. It's all separate pieces. But it just depends on your method of building. So I look forward to all the comments. Again, thank you for all my past, present, and future subscribers. Like I said, hit that bell notification so you know when my videos come out. We'll see come Wednesday if I have anything worthwhile to post. If not, it'll be Friday, and that'll be showing you also the little clip at the end of the video of all the 2022 builds that we've done here in the shop. And all those were done in the new shop. One of them was started in the old shop, but very little got done there. 98% of it was done here in this shop. So I'm really proud that the bigger and better shop, I was able to put out 10 kits where I normally only get about 6 or 7 out if I'm lucky. So that was a great milestone for me. Again, Happy New Year to everybody. We'll see you Friday. If not, maybe a little jump up in the middle of the week Wednesday. It just depends on how I feel and what I got to show. So you guys enjoy your holidays, your days off that you still have, and build them all car. Like I said, I always like to see your builds, so you can send them to me via email. I appreciate that. Some of the guys do that. Their future projects, ideas they got, and the kits that they just got done. I love seeing that kind of stuff. Again, because I can't just come knock on your door and come in your house and see what you got. So this is just my way of being able to see what you're doing also. So again, I thank you guys. This is Rusty Rotor. I'm out.